WhyGuru ji ka Khalsa, WhyGuru ji ki Fateh. We're here today in New York City, here to doing street Parchar, speaking to everybody, spreading the word of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, spreading the love. Your name?
I'm Adam Shlomi.
Adam, okay, nice. My name's Harman.
Harman?
Yeah.
Alright. I love the beard. I've inspired my beard from Sikh culture. I know you guys don't cut anything, and I think it's a good look. I think it's a good practice.
It is, yeah. Feels amazing.
But I actually recently trimmed my mustache, and looking at you, I felt deep shame. And I saw a really good tweet. It goes, if you're a guy and you have long hair, and you have a voice in your head telling you to cut your hair, it's the devil talking.
We got a tradition of having our mustache actually curled up a little bit, and that's known to be in staying in high spirits. So we got the electricity running through the hair, filled with like warrior spirit. I mean,
the Sikhs convert or no?
So Sikhi is open to everybody. Okay. There's no forceful conversion and none of that kind of stuff.
But are you trying? Like, do you send missionaries out?
No, not in that sense. If somebody is following a certain faith, we encourage them to follow that faith.
Okay, you want them to dive deeper
into their faith. That's our main goal. Okay. I think any conversation that I kind of have on the street, that kind of is the goal. The goal is to help them dive deeper into their path, and maybe shine a little bit of light on who I am.
Interesting.
I don't see other faiths or anything like that. People see it as like stepping on your toes, we're hitting the same market or anything. I don't see it like that. I see it as there's a lot of negativity and vices out there already. It's like there's already lust and anger and greed and violence and hatred. I'd rather focus on that and tackle that first.
Okay.
And then the rest of us, we're all brothers. And we're walking that same path anyways.
On the sort of God's path is on God's path.
That's it. Yeah. We got a society today that is almost like everything is sold using lust. You got your cars, you got your models, you have everything. So I kind of see it heading towards a dangerous direction like that. And I know there's reports out there today as well that a lot of depression is related to a lot of the pornography content the majority of the world is consuming today.
Pornography is horrible.
And the culture that we create about like boyfriend and girlfriend cheating on each other, it's just ingrained into our culture where when you get so caught up in that sort of stuff, you can't find yourself, you can't dig into yourself. Nobody can sit in a room by themselves and sit with their own thoughts. They go crazy if they sit in, like we just went through COVID-19, right? Everyone's in a lockdown. You sort of put somebody in a room and say, sit there for a week. It's like, I can't do that. Yeah, I need a phone, I need something. So diving deep within themselves or finding, I guess, even a path of spirituality is kind of a far off play at the moment.
It's so far from modern capitalism and work culture where you have such a fast pace.
Yeah. Cool, man. Take care. Have you ever seen somebody with a turban before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, can you tell me when you see a Sikh, what is your instant thought as soon as you see them? Or let's say see a turban, do you know anything about them? Have you interacted with Sikhs before?
I think maybe when I was like younger, I used to go to the mosque with my cousins because they're Muslim, but I'm not sure.
So do you think Sikhs are Muslims?
I think it has some correlation, but I'm probably wrong, right?
Well, yeah, I'm glad we're having this conversation. Sikhs are actually a completely different faith. We love our Muslim brothers, and as a Sikh, I encourage everybody, no matter what faith they're a part of, to go deeper into that faith. But if somebody has no faith, and they're in lust or greed or anger, and they're just kind of, I would say, lost within the world, within the negativities of the world, then I would encourage them to find that spirituality, spiritual center grounding through some faith. So that Sikhi is always welcoming. So a Sikh turban actually represents a crown, and it's like a lighthouse, where wherever we try to go in the world, we try to spread positivity. We try to spread the name of God.
So it's your religion?
That's the name. That's the name of the religion. Sikhi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's great. Amazing. Yeah. So on the YouTube channel, the leaflet that I gave you, you can go into a lot of introductory videos of what Sikhi is and who the founder of Sikh faith was, Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And so you can learn a lot about that.
You seem like a very nice person. So.
Yeah. Where are you from, bro?
Jersey.
Jersey. Okay.
Right there. What about you?
I'm from Canada.
Canada. Okay, I can tell. That's why you're really nice.
Okay.
Yeah. All the Canadians are really nice.
Cool. That's amazing, bro. So I got 3 facts, right? So I'll go through it very quickly with you. So one creator. I know sometimes in this today's world we got a lot of division. We say it's me against you. But if we change that philosophy and we say we are all one, the one creator that's omnipresent amongst us, that's in and around us, and that light pervades through all of humanity, and we connect to that omnipresent creator being by singing God's praises, and so connecting deeper within ourselves. So the deeper I connect with myself, the deeper I'll connect with you. Even though we might say we're 2 different people, different views, you're from a different country than I am, right? But there's still a sense of that interaction, that connection between us. Individual intellects might be different, but at a deeper core level, which many of us might be ignorant to and not understand yet, but deeper we dive, we'll connect into that. So that's the first message of Sikhi that we try to I guess try to understand. The second is I'm trying to understand who the 10 Sikh Gurus are. So first Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, a little bit of history behind that is Guru Nanak Dev Ji actually traveled to Makkah, traveled to Rome, traveled to a lot of these places and condemned hypocrisy. So at that time there was a lot of, we think of discrimination today in a different sense, where we said something and derogatory, somebody else was offended by that. Discrimination at that time was like, if you're a low caste and you walked by my shadow, I have the right to take molten hot lead and pour it down your ear.
Oh, really?
Like, it was that bad. A woman was considered even below a man's shoe. And to destroy all of that kind of stuff, the Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, they set out onto this path to condemn hypocrisy, to explain the greatness of the creator that's around us. So, and in fact, have you ever heard of the Golden Temple or Harmandir Sahib?
I haven't, no.
So definitely I would suggest Google it for sure. So if you search Harmandir Sahib or Golden Temple, you'll find it's in northern Punjab, and that's the center of the main, you can say, the heart of Sikhi. That's where a lot of Sikhs go. They travel to, and it actually has 4 doors. And what that represents is that from all 4 sides, north, east, west, south, everybody is welcome. There's not like, oh, just because you're a certain color or gender or caste or whatever, you're not welcome, right? So it doesn't matter about any of that kind of stuff. In fact, if somebody is even of a different faith, I see it as my responsibility to step up and protect that other person's faith. So if another faith is being harmed, I see myself being taught as a defender of faith. Not only the defender of my faith, but everybody's faith, right? So there's the 6th Guru Har Gobind Sahib, there was actually a village where there was poor Muslims and they didn't have a mosque. So the Sikh Guru actually went there and built them a mosque so that they could do their 5 namaz every day, and they could practice their faith. So in the same way, if somebody else's faith or their practice of righteousness is being hurt, or there's an obstacle, I see it kind of my responsibility to step up and try to do something about that. So that's kind of like a little bit of history and past about it for sure. And again, like I mentioned on our YouTube channel, there's a lot more about it, right? I wanted to go through a couple of interesting facts as well. So the Sikh text, just like I guess the Christians have the Bible and there's the Quran of the Muslims, the Sikh text is perceived a little bit differently than just a holy book. We see it to be the living word of God, like living as you can have a conversation spiritually with the word of God, and you can experience that conversation. It's actually written in poetry, and it has various different languages in it. Actually, there's not only Sikh writers in it, there's Muslim writers and other faiths writers as well, because they achieve that spiritual state. Once they achieve that spiritual state and they're one with the Creator, they're speaking that word that came directly from the root of this entire world, which is that Creator, right? And we sing these words, we sing these hymns or these praises that are written in it through music. So what we do, the way we meditate, is we literally have instruments and we sing out to God's name. We do prayers, we sing our feelings. what we're going through. We ask for blessings in that sort of way. And the most interesting, one of the a very interesting aspect is we have free food at all of our Sikh temples for everybody. If you walk into a Sikh temple, you get free food.
Okay.
It's like a community kitchen, funded by the community, by the Sikh community. Anybody can go, free food, open all the time. So I know you here in New York, you got in Queens, you got Richmond Hill. Gurdwara
yeah,
Sahib.
you know what's crazy? I was just talking to some homeless guy.
Okay,
we were talking to him about like where he's going because he said it was really hard to sleep outside.
Okay.
And he just decided to go to what church to get like hot chocolate or something.
Okay, wow.
I've been like mostly not like atheist.
Yeah.
I've been more of agnostic, more of like, you know, not sure about religion and stuff like that. Even though it's very touchy subject, but I've been feeling like, you know, there definitely is some type of creator, and I feel like everybody has their own ability to have their own influence.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
you know,
I'm more in tune with that.
Yeah, I think what I've been noticing nowadays is, you know, people say it's a touchy subject. I don't really think it is a touchy subject.
It is either, but
because it's like we're talking about our experience with something greater, right? And if somebody has not experienced that, or they are not wanting to experience that, that's okay, right? But it's still just like anybody, you're asking me about Andrew Tate and the influence about all that kind of stuff. I feel like we can openly discuss these things about like, if you haven't experienced it, but I have experienced that. Yeah. So then, you know,
it's all about perspective.
Yeah, it's about perspective, and how can we further this conversation into knowing more, right? And I kind of see it this way: like if I told you to say, you know, there's go and fall in love with Bob, and you're like, who's gonna be Bob? And you know, say, give your life to Bob, and you're like, who's Bob? You need to know a little bit more about Bob. Exactly, show me his picture. Let me meet him. Let me talk to him. Let me learn a little bit more about Bob. That's
threw me off about religion when I was younger. You know, like people just blindly following religion and not like really being 100% about it, and really, truly reading everything, understanding everything. Yeah. But, you know, you seem like you know what you're talking about. So
for sure.
I find it inspirational listening to people who know what they're talking about, who genuinely are 100% into what they do.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah. So. And that's the biggest thing. You can't have half faith. It's like, because you know, it's like we're standing here and we see the sun, for example, and we say, you know, oh, do you believe in the sun? It's like, well, yeah, we just look up and we see it right now, right? And if I decide not to look up, and you're like, hey, there's the sun right there, and I say, I don't want to look up. The sun's there, but I can have full faith because the sun's shining upon me. I can say there's no doubt in my mind that the sun doesn't exist because it's right there. Yeah. And I think that experience of connecting to that creator is what creates that faith. And so furthering that conversation, because like I mentioned before, the opposite of it is, you know, people are selfish, there's narcissism, they're within themselves, there's lust and anger, and the world, the negativity in the world kind of pulls you in a different way. In fact, the way I see it is people feel that the topic of spirituality or religion, that kind of gets thrown into the same boat, when actually all of these things are a little bit different, right? If they all get thrown into the same boat and you kind of you put it away, you push it away, you kind of close it off to say that I don't want to even dive deeper within myself. I don't want to look into myself at all. And when you push all of that away, it creates this thing. It's like do's and don'ts and negativities and divisions, when really it's that's not the case. And sure, in some cases it may be, right. But if we try to dive into that truth and try to search the elements of truth within the faiths and the religions and spirituality, and focus on ourselves as an individual and our giving to the community, and our maybe even a higher purpose of why we came to this world, I think that drives a lot of people, right? And once you experience that little that hint of touch of it, you experience a little taste of it, you almost want more of it, right? Just like somebody might get addicted to alcohol, they drink a little bit more, and then they're just thinking of alcohol. Just like a lustful person, they're thinking about lust all day long, right? And they're thinking about, you know, somebody that's an artist. They'll see art wherever they go, and I see spirituality in the same way. It's somebody that experiences a little bit of that taste. They begin to see that everywhere. They're thinking about that all day long, and that becomes their life. Their mind almost gets molded. In today's society, we're almost conditioned to think in like left wing or right wing, or we're conditioned to think if we believe in one thing, everybody else has to be wrong. in that sense. But rather than diving into that, diagnosing the truth from the false, right? Have you ever had an experience where it made you think that, you know, maybe there is something greater, maybe there is a creator?
Definitely. When I be saying things and putting in a lot of work, like especially when I went to LA, it was crazy. Like I spoke about the YouTubers that I wanted to meet, and I was grinding with the YouTubers. I was posting twice a week for a year, and you know, I literally spoke exactly what I wanted, and it happened right in front of me, like very quickly.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's religion, but I definitely understand like manifestation. I definitely believe in that, and like speaking and working to what you believe, and you're gonna achieve that. That's something I connect with a lot. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But it could be religion.
Yeah. Have you tried to look into you know, any faith, or just within yourself, or any spiritual concept? Like, do you meditate at all?
I don't meditate.
No. Okay.
I should be getting into that, but I'm very like, my mind is very like, I gotta go. Yeah, it's very hard for me to sit down.
So how do you tame your mind? Like, let's just say you're sitting at home, your mind's going crazy. Maybe you drank too much coffee the morning of, and like
I should be working. Like I should be trying to work as much as possible, and then when I come home, I try to go to the gym.
Okay.
Get my mind right through that. So especially the sauna,
okay,
it gets, you know, really humbles you, humbles the anxiety, because everybody talks about anxiety, depression, but you know, there's a lot of underlying things of why people have anxiety and depression, but they're not really realizing it. But I think sauna.
So what I'm getting at you is you're working, you know, you're going around, but the sauna, I guess it takes you a little bit internal. When I sit in the sauna, that's what I experience. You're like kind of like,
because
I can take a breath.
You're only thinking about surviving at that point. You're not really thinking about, you know, how your day is shitty or how your girlfriend broke up with you. You're just trying to, you know, you're really paneling on one thing instead of thinking about everything at once.
So we actually meditate on our breath as well as Sikhs. So we recite the word WhyGuru through, it's the Guru mantra, the teaching that our Guru gave us, and through our breath we close our eyes, and you know, just like if somebody has anxiety and you say take a deep breath and you say WhyGuru, and we kind of relax into that, and we go internal. I think one of the things that I've always found is when I'm running around focused too much externally, I begin to see the tree is different than that, and that person is different than that, and I get so caught up in the reality of what this world is. But when I go internal, it's just kind of like, it's just me one with everything.
Yeah, you focus on one thing.
Yeah, and everything, the external is irrelevant, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, that experience in itself of stepping away from the world, detaching from the world, and trying to connect to something beyond, and something, and you know what Sikhi teaches this is like, this body is a temporary vessel. This body will leave here, we shed it here, but there's that light that's within us, it continues on, and if we attain liberation, then we become one with the Creator, and if not, based on our vices and our karma and everything then we just continue that journey on in this world. We put on a shell, we take it off, we put on a different shell, you know, and that coming and going into this world is almost like is considered to be a cause of pain as well, because you know, like life in itself is tough. Right, you got to make ends meet, you got to make some money, you have to do things, and yeah, sure, there's ways to enjoy life, but then there's a greater satisfaction and a greater taste that you can experience, and that sense of liberation and completely being one is what I guess me as a Sikh I try to strive for. Like, is there anything that you've experienced to say that I've tasted something, I experienced something internally that, you know what, money, riches, and all of these things kind of around me, that is not something that's gonna forever give me internal happiness? Like, how do you define and try to achieve or try to work towards inner happiness? Inner happiness.
So I feel like, because I was talking about depression a lot with a lot of people, like doing interviews and stuff like that, but I feel like the reason a lot of people are depressed, or getting back to what you asked me, but the reason, there's always underlying reasons. So at least how I view my situation, I want to work extremely hard to be able to get as much money as possible, so I'm able to, you know, settle down my family, settle down my friends, but I also have to always go to the gym. I always have to try to go out of my way to build relationships with my family members. You know, you have to have everything in order to be happy. At least that's how I think. I think I need to have everything. So that, I don't know, that's just how my brain works. I know a lot of people try to like meditate and stuff like that, which is good. I'm not saying it's bad, but at least how my mind works right now, how I view success, I need to have a lot of money.
Okay.
Like, I need to have a lot of money. I need to have a lot of influence and impact on people's lives and my family's. I need to make sure my family's good. I just have a lot of, I'm trying to put a lot of pressure on myself right now.
Yeah. So. No, that's good. You got to work hard, especially in today's day, man. But what I got out of your conversation is, you need a lot of money to help your family and do that. But I get a sense of you know that chasing after that gold is not. It's there to provide you with that stability, and you need that. You need the funds to be able to do that. But that's not going to be your source of happiness.
Like I think you have to have everything to be able to be happy. You have to have money. You have to have status. You have to have relationships with your family. You have to have a good wife. You have to have good friends, loyal friends. You have to have things that you enjoy to do on your free time. I feel you just got to compound your work a lot, because a lot of people that are depressed and that complain about anxiety and blah blah blah, there's a lot of things that are like clearly obvious that they need to change, that they're just like, I feel like everybody knows what to do to be successful, but it's very simple, but it's not easy. You know what I mean?
It's a challenge of the mind, right? Like the mind knows what to do, but it can't do it.
Yeah, David Goggins.
Yeah, and you just mentioned that there as well. Like everything matters, especially the inner stability. If you're not stable internally, if you're not happy internally, what does everything else matter, right? Yeah. And one of those things is that if you have all of those things, and you're able to provide for your family, you're able to have happiness within yourself, you can achieve a lot more. But your mind has obstacles, and I guess that's where I see Sikhi focuses a lot on the mind. The teachings that I focus on through spirituality, through singing God's praises, is to tame the mind and discipline the mind. I try to tame my mind a little bit. My mind is running around all the time. How do I discipline my mind?
Yeah,
right?
That's true as well.
Right? Because I'm a gym bro as well, right? I love it. Go to the gym, go hard or go home. Yeah. And it's mind over matter. Those are I lived off of these words when I was in high school, right? And so using that kind of stuff beyond the gym, kind of within yourself, disciplining the mind to go beyond our selfish purposes of like attaining for ourselves or even providing for our loved ones, to something greater, deep within ourselves, beyond our body, even something that's towards the Creator, the omnipresent around us. To use that discipline in the mind to go so deep within the mind that you lose yourself, that you lose your I, like that aspect.
Like, do I feel like if you go too deep, you can lose your mind?
So not losing your mind. But you know how there's a sense of I, like I am.
Yeah.
But when we say I, we go around the world and we say I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. But to tame the mind in such a way, through self-reflection and spirituality, to go so deep within the mind that you stop looking through the lens of ego, and you start looking through the lens of like an omnipresent lens, where you become one with the Creator that's omnipresent amongst us, right? So something that almost supersedes the mind. Yeah. Right. So and that's what we try to attain as Sikhs through spirituality. We want not only have the I. We don't recite I all day. We recite you all day. Yeah. It's not about me. I'm losing myself, humbling myself to the depth where I almost dissolve in my spirituality, right? Internally, right? And that's something that is really, in my understanding of seeing everybody in the world, and we're standing here in the middle of New York here, right? Everybody has their own individuality and their own I, and they're walking around. Somebody might be saying, my family, I'm going there, I'm wanting this. The sense of individuality and I. But spirituality is losing that. Once you lose that, then you have no desire. When you have no desire, you still have everything, right, physically, but that desire of not receiving that desire, you're at complete contentment, complete bliss internally, right? And that's something that, I think, the world really needs to try to find deeper within itself. But when we're being pulled externally all the time, it's more about, here's a nice shiny object, I want that more, right? So your mind goes back into the I state, rather than, Creator, it's you, and singing God's praise. And it's not a humbling experience. It's a very selfish experience then, right? Yeah. So how does that sound to you?
I know what you mean. yeah, I feel like I definitely be about trying to just do best for myself, my people right now. But yeah,
it made you think.
Yeah.
So definitely check out the YouTube channel, bro.
We gotta get back to this video, but
yeah, great. Can I ask you a couple questions about these?
Sure.
So, how long have you been taking care of these birds for?
Quite a while.
Can you tell me an experience that you had with any injured pigeons?
Yeah, I take them to the wild bird fund. I got a few right here right now.
Oh wow.
There's one guy his feet are all messed up.
Do you ever feel, I guess, obviously compassion or love, something towards the birds? Can you tell me about an experience about that?
Because they're all friendly. A dove is a bird of love and peace. That's what these are, the rock doves. Hey, Google Larry the Birdman and watch my videos.
Okay.
Google, Facebook. On the Instagram, you have to hashtag Larry the Birdman.
That's who you are, Larry the Birdman. Okay, nice. Can I tell you about my YouTube channel as well? We have a YouTube channel called Basics of Sikhi as well. We actually talk about the Sikh faith and why I'm wearing a turban and everything that we do. So I want to hand that to you.
All right, thank you.
For sure. It was great talking to you, man.
Yeah, you too.
Hargobind Sahib Sache Paatshah used to take care of the birds. Guru Har Rai Sahib Sache Paatshah used to take care of the birds. They would feed them, they would take care of them, they would heal them. And Guru Hargobind Sahib Sache Paatshah is treating a bird that definitely that bird is going to be liberated. Oh, koi Puratan Sikh hi ho sakde hai, or somebody that is going to be liberated by Guru Sahib Sache Paatshah themselves. So it makes you wonder as well. And what great karma would those birds have to be able to be healed by Guru Sahib themselves.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please donate and help spread Guruji's message. Link is in the description below. WhyGuru Ji ka Khalsa, WhyGuru Ji ki Fateh.